Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another special Facebook Live in my summer series, third annual summer series on Facebook Live. This whole week, I'm going to be talking about all things writing. So tonight, actually, I'm talking about the Writer's Notebook a little bit more. In the last few videos, I shared all of the little tabs that are in a Writer's Notebook. I also shared a little bit about my own Writer's Notebook. And you can go back and watch those videos if you'd like. All you need to do is go into the video section of my Facebook page and you'll be able to see all of the videos that we've done so far this summer. It's 2018 if you're watching this as a replay. Or you can go back and check out all of the Facebook Lives from 2017 and 2016. It's the third year, so we've got a lot of videos you can be binge watching if you want. Hello, Rebecca. I'm glad you're on here. I know Priscilla's going to say hi in just a minute, too. Hi, Christina. Finally caught you on a live event. I love it. Yay, you caught me. You caught me live. If you're just joining, say hello. We're just kind of chatting for a minute until everyone gets a chance to get on. Sometimes I kind of delay or stall a little bit so that people can make it on live that want to be here live. This week, I'll be live several different nights. I know I have, if you saw the papers that were near me, I know I have my live schedule. Here it is. So let me just show you where we're at here. If you're watching this live, you know that it's the 24th, and we're talking about launching the Writer's Notebook. You can see tomorrow I'm going to be talking about how you can plant seeds, 4 different ideas for planting seeds. And then Tuesday I'll talk about 5 more ideas for planting seeds. And then Wednesday I'll talk about what a junk journal is. And Thursday I'll talk about how you can organize your Writer's Notebook. So this whole week is really about Writer's Notebooks. And tomorrow, let me just say off the bat too, it says 8 p.m., but I actually have a webinar tomorrow night on interventions. So I'm going to bump that down to 2 o'clock. So if you like watching me live tomorrow, instead of at 8 p.m., I'm going to be live at 2 p.m. Central. So just a little tip. Hi, Priscilla. I knew you were going to be on here. I called you out before you said hello. Hello, Christina. She said this is her 3rd summer watching my lives or replays. I learn so much from you all the time, or from all of them. Thank you so much, Christina. You are so sweet. And Barbara says hello. Hi, Barbara. I see you. If you hear any weird noise in the background, it's just my husband in the front yard doing something with some man thing with bushes and landscaping. I don't know what he's doing. Hi, Catherine. Hello. Bonnie's like, I made it. Okay, so I have some ideas for you about the Writer's Notebook. If you didn't check out that live, you will be able to tell what's all inside of here in the tabs and all that good stuff. But one of my big goals when I launched my Writer's Notebooks for my kids is to really get them excited and bought into the idea of having a Writer's Notebook. There's a big difference between launching Writer's Notebooks saying, okay, boys and girls, here's your notebook for the year. You have to have it because we're doing writing. And launching the notebooks in a way that gets them really excited. And so one of the things that I do to keep motivating my kids is I begin by sharing my own notebook. So if you don't have your own Writer's Notebook yet, you got to get your hands on one. And so get your own Writer's Notebook. I shared this the other day. This is my old one that I have, and it doesn't have to look the same as your kids. It can look a little bit different, and it can be a little bit messy. And you can talk about how sometimes Writer's Notebooks, they have their own little style, and they can have things that look a little bit different. Hi, Laura Lee. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Catherine. So you can talk about that, but you have to have your own Writer's Notebook. It's super important, and it will drastically improve how your students grow as writers throughout the year if you have your own, because it's so great for them to see you go through the writing process with them. It helps them see that you are a lifelong writer and that writing isn't just a subject that you do for 30 minutes a day, but it's actually a life skill that adds value to themselves and to others who read their words. So showing them that and modeling that is super important. Plus, the kids absolutely love to help you with your writing. When you tell them that they're going to help you with your writing this year, they get so excited. They're like, wait, You mean I can help you as a writer? And you just tell them, yeah, boys and girls, writers learn from other writers, and we're all learning together and in writing workshop and as writers. So I really need your help this year. Do you think you can help me? And they get so empowered and so excited that they actually get to help you. And you're not just the teacher that has all the answers and they're going to respond to a set of directions all year, but they're actually going to be built up and like learn that they actually can help you. And it's a really fun process to go through with them. So you need a notebook, but let me give you a pro tip. If you get a notebook this year and you start building your notebook, you can use it again next year. Unless you're looping, then the kids will know. But you can use it year after year. You don't have to get a new notebook every year. You can build on it and keep adding to it. That's what I did. And so you can do that. And it's really great to get everyone writing. So one of the things that I do at the beginning of the year to get everybody writing is I get them excited about their notebooks. I show them my notebook, and we start by just building lists. So we make all kinds of lists in the seed section of our notebook. So the seed section is the third section of their notebook. And you can start by having them make anything in their notebook. And we talk about how they don't have to write perfect sentences in their notebooks. Have them make a list of really anything. Here's a list of things that annoy you. The student wrote, my siblings. When I get a flat tire, probably on their bike. When my friends can't play. When I have no cash. And then they picked their favorite one, and I let them use highlighter tape, which is really fancy, and they get really excited about highlighter tape. So I let them use highlighter tape and highlight one thing on their list that they think that they can write the most about or have the most to say about or they care the most about. And then they write more about that. They'll start a new page with just that thing on the top of their page, and they'll write all about that. So it's like making lists of a list. You can do all kinds of different things, like what would you do with $1 million? What do you think is annoying about boys? Or what do you think is annoying about girls? What's your favorite animals? Do different favorites. So you can come up with like favorite foods, favorite places to visit, favorite animals, favorite movies. Where would you live if you could live anywhere in the world? Make a list of places you might want to live. And things that you don't like. Say foods you will never eat. You can do a list like that. And when you're doing these lists, in your notebooks, make your own list ahead of time. So you can say all kinds of different things in your notebooks. Let's see if I can find one of my lists in here. Oh yeah, I gotta show that. Oh, things that you like, but you don't. I like blank, but I really don't like. I like going to bed late, but I really don't like having less than 8 hours of sleep. I like going to the beach for spring break, but I really don't like returning to a foot of snow. I like working with teachers as a literacy coach, but I really don't like having a classroom full of my own students. Oh my gosh, I wrote that in 2011. And then the next year, I started writing curriculum. How funny is that? A list of things kids want. Do this over the summer. This will be good. A list of things kids might want to make a list about. Start your notebook and put that in there. Challenge accepted, hopefully. I wrote video games, things that bug me about my parents. Ooh, that's a good one. I want to blank, but others want me to blank. So I want to do this, but others want me to do this. I want to do blank, but others won't let me. Places I'd like to visit, combinations of animals like a liger. How to spend $1 million. Why do girls blank? And they can finish the question with lists. Why do girls this, and this? Why do boys this, and this? Oh, this is a good one. You got to have your kids do this one. How they've tricked their parents. And have them make a list of all the ways that they've tricked their parents. They will be so excited about making a list of all the ways they tricked their parents. And in your notebook, you can make a list of all the ways you tricked your parents when you were little, and you can share that list with them, and then they will be like so excited to make their own list of ways that they've tricked their parents. And that's a really fun way to get them writing, and you can get everybody excited and engaged in their writing just by making lists. And you can have them make lists of ways they tricked their teachers, ways they tricked the principal, and just have them spark ideas as they're writing. And then after you build lists for the first couple weeks, You can be talking every day about how, wow, we're doing a lot of writing, and start addressing your class as writers and start saying, you are writers in this classroom. You are just like the best writers I know, and this is amazing. Look at all the writing that you have. Let's look back in our notebooks and see what we've done for the last few weeks. And I want you to just take this highlighter. I want you to go into your notebook, and I want you to highlight all the parts of your notebook that are your favorites. It can be one word, it can be one sentence, it can be one line in a list of things, but just highlight the things you think are really cool that you've done so far. And then you talk about with them how the things that they have highlighted are going to start to be their writing territories. These are places that they're really interested in writing, places that they're really good at writing, and that they have a lot to say about. And you start helping them see what their writing territories are. And this is a way to get everybody writing about things that they care about, because writing is about something personal. It's about writing, sending a message to the world that you care about. So we want to help kids see that, not just we're all going to do this one craftivity and it's all going to look the same and we're all going to start with the same sentence and end with the same sentence. We want our kids to learn how to find their inner writing voice, and by making these lists and finding their writers territories in their notebooks, they can really be able to do that. Hi, Julie. She's excited. Trick your parents. Yes. Oh my gosh. And you're going to really get to know your kids. When they start writing down the things they've done to trick their parents, it's going to be gold. And then you can like tell them, hey, don't mess with me this year because I got a list of things in your notebook of ways you tricked them, and I will totally use that against you. I mean, you can do that, but you don't have to. Okay, so those are all ideas, but I have them make a list and then pick a couple things from their list. They can either highlight it, use highlighter tape, they can circle it, and then they write more about those things on their list. And we can always go back a day later, 2 days later, and add more things to our ideas. The whole point at the beginning of the year is just really twofold. Number one, to get to see, so that they start seeing themselves as real writers that have something important to say and share with the world. That's always my number one goal at the beginning of the year, to get themselves to believe in themselves as writers and that their writing has value, and to help them discover their writing territories and build their stamina up for writing. Those are the two big things I'm looking for at the beginning of the year as we start building the seeds and we make these lists. And in my first unit that I do for the year, the launching the reading and writing workshops, it's all about that. It's all about putting the notebooks together, all about planting the seeds, finding our writing territories, and all of that good stuff. So each day after we write, at the beginning of the year, they might only be writing for 5 minutes, because that's all they can really have the stamina for, is to make a list for 5 minutes. And then we get together and we share our lists in our group with our notebooks. So the kids will share what they wrote on their list with a partner, and then we'll share with the whole class. And I always tell them, have a pencil with you when we come back for the share, because something another writer says that they put in their notebook might spark an idea that you have. And if you don't write that idea down right away, guess what's going to happen to that idea? Any of my former students will say this, because I said it all the time. They would quote me, oh yeah, we know, Mrs. Bengal, it'll get lost into outer space if we don't write it down. And I say, yeah, you don't want your ideas floating around out there in outer space. You want them safe and protected in your notebook. So bring your notebook to the share, and when some other writer in the class shares a really cool idea or something that makes you have a connection, you have your pencil there and you can add that to your list right away too. Writers, it's okay to get ideas from other writers. So this is all really good stuff for you to do in back to school time. Christina said the first list I have the students write is things I can talk about. I love that. And then we cross out talk and change it to write, things I can write about. That's awesome too. Nicole says, I love that idea of instilling the importance of being a writer at the beginning of the year. Super important. It's so important. And I might, I'll challenge everybody to say, how can you instill the importance of being a writer to your kids if you don't have your own writer's notebook? You got to have that. You got to go through the process with them to instill that lifelong love of writing for them. Even if you're not a big writer yourself, it can look messy. Your notebook cannot be pretty, and that's okay, because it's all a journey and a process with you too. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Amy. Welcome. So I love that. Hi, Janelle. Hi, glad you're on here. So those are some of my big ideas for the writer's notebook at the beginning of the year. Hopefully it inspires you to think about how you're going to present your notebooks to your kids this year. I mean, you got to bring the heat. Because some of these kids, they don't want to write anything. They struggle with writing. And you've got to bring the energy and the excitement and make them fall in love with writing. Maybe they haven't liked it in the years before. But when you show them what writing can do for them and how it can get their thoughts down on paper and really get their voice out there to the world, and you respect that, and everybody in the classroom is writing together, it's a really, really cool journey to go on. I absolutely love doing it, and there's nothing more magical than when you take those reluctant writers into a process and a stage where they can't wait for writing, and they moan and groan when writing class is over. It's so awesome. Ruth said, I think the most important thing out of having our own notebook is that writing isn't magic. It is hard to write, and we have to model our thinking process to make it less intimidating. 100% Ruth. That is, I could have said that better. There's a page in my notebook I always showed my students every year. I'll see if I can find it. I know I showed it the other day if you watched the other day too, but it's this page right here. I was actually training in my postgraduate degree, and Irene Fountas gave me this sticky, and she made me put it in the notebook, and it's a quote, and I had to write about what she had given me. And this is a really cool thing to do. You can get like the Avery sticky labels and put quotes on them and have kids write about the quotes or make lists about the quotes. Well, this is what I wrote because it was at the end of an 8-hour training day with Irene Fountas, and my brain was dead. I couldn't write anything else. So I show this to the kids, and I tell them a writer's notebook can be messy because it is a process, and there sometimes can be pages that don't look so hot, and that's okay. And that's what's so great about it, because it's a place to just put down your thoughts. Let's see, she said, I'm not sure if I missed it, but what sections do you include in your notebook? I'll go over them really quick, but I do actually have a live that I did last week that has the sections a little bit more detailed. So I have 4. The first section is record of writing, and then I have a mini lesson section where we keep all the mini lessons for the whole year. And then I have the seed section, which is kind of what I was focusing on tonight. That's where we start planting seeds for ideas in our notebook. And then the last section is called Writer Talks. This is where we share our thinking from other writers. So when we reflect on what writers are teaching us in the classroom, either other writers sitting right next to us or writers from published books, we can write down things that we learned from other writers. So that's what I have in the notebook. And again, you can go in the video section of the my Facebook page where it says video, and you can watch that Facebook Live, and it goes into all the detail about that too. Christina said, I love that you share your messy page with kids. Yes, absolutely. And if you have a hard time being messy, I don't, because I'm a total B-type personality. But if you do have a hard time being messy, just force yourself to look a little messy, and then you can show the kids your vulnerability a little bit, and they'll open up to you more as writers, and they'll start producing things that are really from their heart about writing and not like manufactured into what they think you want them to write about. They actually really become real writers, and it's really, really awesome. So tomorrow, what am I doing? Where am I? Tomorrow I am sharing some more ideas for planting seeds. So today we talked about lists and different things, but I'm going to tell you 4 more ways that you can plant seeds in the writer's notebooks and start building those writing staminas that you need to build for the beginning of the year. Kids come in, they might be able to write for 2 minutes, and you want to get them up to a 15, 20-minute writing piece of time. So you're gonna have to start building stamina, finding writing territory. So I'll go over some different seeds to put in the notebook tomorrow. And again, it says I'll be live at 8 p.m., but I'm actually gonna bump it down to 2 p.m. because I have a webinar tomorrow night on intervention. So I will be live at 2 p.m. Central right here on my Facebook page, Out of This World Literacy. If you wanted to watch any of the live webinars, they're always free. You have to register for them though, a little bit different than Facebook. You can do that by going to jenbengelwebinars.com. And I hope you enjoyed this live. Go back, binge watch some other ones. There's a ton that you can watch. And I am super excited that you are joining me live for all of these. I will talk to you again tomorrow at 2 o'clock and maybe see you in the intervention webinar at 7:30 tomorrow night. Take care, everybody, and have a great rest of your evening.